Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today, I want to get into a pair of Nike SBs that really caught my attention. I ordered these from a raffle on CCS, and they just got delivered. I also want to recap some of the recent drops and all the L's I took this week on sneakers. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Persian Violet SB Dunk Lows. All right, what is happening, everybody? It is wonderful to be back here with y'all again. It is a beautiful fall morning here. I love it when the leaves start to change colors. I know that doesn't happen everywhere, but that's part of what I like about living in the mountains here in West Virginia, is just all four seasons are kind of dramatic. So like, I love this time of year. It's just nice and cozy. And then pretty soon I know I'll be tired of winter and the cold weather and that sort of thing. But anyhow, I said it before and I'll say it again. I am not a weatherman. I am a sneaker guy. So let's get right to it. As you can see, I am holding an SB box in my hands. It's just the purple Nike SB box. It's a GR. I think these were pretty easy to get. I think they're still really easy to get. Whenever I first saw this colorway, I really liked it. And initially, I was thinking that they really reminded me of the Ugly Duckling dunks. Not an SB dunk, but there was a pack years back, and then they were re-released here recently. But one of those colorways was the Plum Dunk Low. I have those here just for comparison, but they reminded me of that, and I really like that colorway as well. So these had my attention, and now that I got these in hand, they're completely unique. Now they really do remind me more of the ACG Terra SB dunks from, I think, like 5 years ago. But anyhow, we'll cover all that. Came in a standard GR box. I ordered these from a raffle on CCS well before they were released on sneakers, and I was thinking I would get my pair before they were released on sneakers. These actually took about 2 weeks to get here, and typically I feel like CCS is a lot faster than that, so I'm not sure what the issue with that was, but it just took a long time for these to get shipped out. But anyhow, standard GR purple box. The tag reads Nike SB Dunk Low Pro. The colors are Persian Violet and Cinnamon. It's perfect timing. Just as I was holding up the label and that sort of thing, I saw a notification come across my screen. Sorry, you were not selected for the Jordan 17s. And I'll tell you what, this week has been nothing but L's. I went for the Nego, the Levi's Nego Air Force 3s. I really wanted that pair. I am one of the only people I know that really liked that first release of the Nego Air Force 3s. It's like all different colors, but I actually wear those a good bit, and I like them because of how unique they are. And I really wanted this denim pair of the Nego Air Force 3s, and I struck out. But after seeing the stock numbers on sneakers, I'm not surprised I struck out. But I also went for them through EQL raffles and that sort of thing. Like I just mentioned, I took an L on the EQL raffles for the Jordan 17s, the Infinite Archives pair. And then I think I'm still in the running on EQL for those Grateful Dead and Oregon mashups of those Air Max 90s. I was a big Grateful Dead fan whenever I was back in high school and even after high school and that sort of thing. I never got to see Jerry before he passed away, but I've seen the rest of them a whole bunch of times. But anyhow, I love the Grateful Dead. I really wanted that pair, similar to how I really wanted those Grateful Dead SB dunks from years ago. But anyhow, I don't think I'll end up getting a W on those Grateful Dead Air Max 90s, but we never know. It's just odd because it seems like for every drop, there's been so much stock. They've been so easy to get, and we're talking OG colorways that I really like and everything, but it almost gets you spoiled because you're used to copping everything, and then you have a week, or the past 2 weeks, I should say, where I've just been taking L after L after L, and it's like, oh, come on, I guess my luck has run out. But anyhow, I don't think there was a whole lot of stock for the Nego Levi's Air Force 3s. And then another shoe that I really wanted, the Stussy Baltoros. I really wanted those. I'm a big fan of the old ACGs from the early 90s and the Nike boots from back in that era. I really like that silhouette, and I was hoping to get the brown pair of those, but once again, it just seems like they didn't make near enough stock, and I guess that's to increase hype and that kind of thing. But really, I'm just bummed out because there's been a lot of pairs that I really wanted here recently, and I've been taking all L's. But anyhow, back to this one, standard GR box. Let's get to the kicks. All right, but enough of my yapping and all that box talk.
These colors pop.
As I mentioned earlier, when I first saw pictures of this colorway, it really reminded me of those Plum Dunks from the Ugly Duckling pack from a couple years ago. And I actually forgot that I even had that pair, but I got looking on my shelf, and here they are. This is the Plum colorway from the Ugly Duckling pack. And I do have to say, I think that the materials on this pair are much more premium. These materials kind of feel like the materials that you would get on a made in US New Balance or something like that. Like, it just feels like a very, very premium suede on this upper. Maybe it's a nubuck, I don't know, but I really thought that that SB was going to look like these, and then whenever I got them in person, they're way different from each other. And just for reference, this is the SB, and I feel like this purple really pops a whole lot more. And then here is the standard just Plum Dunk Low. And like I was saying, I think these materials are a little bit more premium, but these feel like they'll hold up for a lot longer. Like, this feels like a heavier suede. It's not as soft, and you don't get as much movement and that sort of thing, but I just feel like these are built to last. This being an SB, they are obviously built for a purpose, and I feel like this one is just built to look nice. Maybe you can see the reference, maybe you can't, but whenever I first saw these, all I could think about is these Plum Dunks. And this is a sign whenever you know that you have too many shoes, when you forget what you even have on your shelves and what you don't. As much as I like these, I haven't even gotten around to wearing them, and I've had them for over a year probably, but like I said, I just have too many. I need to go through and kind of do a purge and clear out what I haven't been wearing lately. One reference that didn't come to me initially is a lot of people have been in my comments saying that these are very similar to the ACG Terra SB Dunk Lows from about 5 years ago. And initially, I didn't even really consider that, but after they said it, they are spot on. I think those ACG Terras had some like bright orange or bright yellow SB laces. And I know that ACG Terra colorway was very sought after. It's still really sought after, but that's been some years since those released, but these definitely remind me of that colorway as well. Whenever I see a gum outsole on an SB shoe, I just feel like it fits right, like it just works out well. But you can see the tread pattern is very similar to a standard Dunk. It is a little bit different, so you get better grip. I always like seeing those little stars on the pivot points, and then we do see that cinnamon red cushion kind of peeking through that outsole. Then as we come up to the midsole, we can see that that gum rubber meets a black midsole, and I really like that touch on this pair. And I also really like that they give us that accent color of that cinnamon red stitching in that black midsole. I think that's a really nice touch. But then as we come up from that midsole area, really this whole upper is just a nice, pretty heavy feeling suede. I like how on the base of the shoe, it does seem like it's a little bit ashy, like it's almost like a charcoal color. It's not a real dark black, and sometimes that doesn't look nice on shoes, but I feel like that looks really nice for the base material on here. And I think the reason why it looks so good is it makes this purple look like it pops even more. And I think this purple color is so vibrant, it really glows. I just think it's super cool looking. And then I think the combination of this cinnamon red color for the swoosh, and then like the Nike branding on the heel and the laces, I just think these things come together beautifully. It's funny because I really like this colorway, but whenever I asked my family, and especially my wife, she did not like these at all. In fact, she just walked by whenever I was doing this, and I heard her make a "what" sound. Like, she does not like this colorway in the least bit, and I really like these. She likes the plum colorway from the Ugly Duckling pack, but she does not like this colorway at all. So I just think it's unique. I've talked to a lot of people that kind of seem the same way. It just seems like this is a colorway that you're either going to love or you're not going to like in the least bit. It seems like there's no middle ground. So let me know which side of the fence you stand on with that. The tongue is a dark gray, almost like a nylon material, and it's like not super thick, but it's not really thin either. It's kind of just right in the middle. And then at the top, we do have that violet tag, and it's got that cinnamon red Nike SB branding. We also have more of that violet color for the piping that goes along the edges of the tongue. These came with cinnamon red SB style laces already in the shoe, but they also threw in a spare set of the violet colored SB laces. I kind of like the contrast that this cinnamon red gives, so for now I'll just keep these in there. It looks like we got a Persian violet colored sock liner, and of course we have all the extra padding up here along the collar that we're accustomed to getting on SB Dunk lows. And then down on the insole, it's the cinnamon red color, and again we get some Nike SB branding. So I really like this colorway, and although I didn't get the connection immediately, I can really see where this does look like the SB Dunk Low ACG Terra from a couple years ago. And I was a huge fan of ACGs whenever I was a kid, so I still like colorways that kind of remind me of that. And this vibrant purple along with this cinnamon red, it definitely has the feels of something from ACG back in the 90s, if not just looking like that ACG Terra SB Dunk Low from a couple years ago. But with all that said, hopefully y'all haven't been taking as many L's as I have been. Let me know if you were able to make any pickups this week. I don't really know of anything else that dropped. I think I named everything that I was going after pretty hard, but hopefully my luck will turn around here soon. I think we've got plenty of more heat to come, and I feel like we're about to see the sneaker game really pick up for the holiday season, as it always does for the end of the year. So maybe it's good that I'm taking a couple of L's just to let my wallet kind of take a break for a little bit. Let me know if you all have picked up anything recently. Let me know what you think about this colorway, because like I said, it really seems like everybody that I've shown these to, they either really like them or they can't stand them. So let me know where you stand on that. As always, I appreciate you all watching tremendously, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will catch you all on the next one. I'm out.